Okay guys, hello and welcome back to another day of the Global Esports Cup in the Southeast Asian region as well. We have a whole ton of games ready for you today, and we're going to start off the day first with Ozone versus Kappa123. So guys, my name's Daniel Lee. I'm going to be your solo English caster for this best of 2 series. Mike will be following me down to the final 2 series, so if you really like his cast, then be prepared, he will be coming to join me very shortly. But anyways, we're going to be here to do this series first. Now, unfortunately for Kappa, they're going to be the ones who they seem to be the crowd favorites here, especially on Dota 2 Lounge. A lot of people are rooting for these guys to bring home their Bugattis, whereas Ozone, not really too popular, but they might be able to bring something a little bit special into the pool. So let's jump right into the draft and see what these teams decide to pick up. So for the moment, we have Ozone snagging themselves a quick Ember Spirit and a Darkseer, and already a little bit of synergy there with the Darkseer, able to throw the Ion Shell into the Ember Spirit once he feels comfortable enough roaming around and trying to grab those kills by himself. Whereas for Kappa, they go for the safer route with the Dazzle and Tusk pick, leaving their options open and also not really giving Ozone a hint as to what kind of style they want to go for in this game. So it seems that both teams could be starting off with some very, you can say, standard heroes, although Ember Spirit being picked first here for Ozone is a little bit risky because you're already showing your hand to Kappa. So for them, it looks like they're going to have a plan in mind while trying to keep this Ember Spirit not only alive but relevant in the team fights. And I think Ember Spirit is a little bit unique for some of these mid laners. He does pretty well in a late game scenario, but if your mid player is competent enough and he is comfortable in playing an early fighting Ember Spirit definitely can grab those kills for you, and especially against the squishier heroes. So for Ozone, we'll see if this Ember Spirit's going to be able to work out for them. Our bans for the second phase is Invoker, Wisp, Wish Doctor, and Winter Wyvern. So Kappa, they notice that Ozone doesn't have any support, so they put a lot of priority into banning those. Whereas for Ozone, Kappa needs a mid, so they get rid of the Invoker, and also Wisp is available in the pool. And recently I've seen a lot of teams picking up the Wisp Tiny, or Wisp anything really. So it looks like Ozone not really prepared to deal with the Wisp plus anything at this stage. They're just going to be banning it out here. Kappa, they haven't picked any cores aside from this Queen of Pain, and she's a very solid mid laner. If this Ember Spirit does end up having to match up against the Queen, typically it should be a Queen of Pain favored mid lane. But obviously there are going to be some instances where that Ember Spirit will be able to do better than that Queen of Pain. He won't take as much damage as certain mid heroes just because he's not only going to have the Flame Guard, but you have the bottle on top of that. So it's quite difficult for Queen of Pain to harass him out with the dagger. But with right clicks, and obviously that's going to be your main way of harassing out the Ember Spirit. And Ozone going to go back for one of their supports here. It looks like they're going to be running a position for Earthshaker this game. Earthshaker's like a tier 2 Tusk in some aspects. He's able to control the terrain, and that might prove useful here for Ozone. And especially with the early rotations from an Earthshaker, if you can just block off the exit point for heroes such as the Dazzle or even the Gyrocopter, chances are they should go down as long as Ozone has the follow-up for it. So they're looking pretty solid, but the same could be said for Kappa here. They're going to pick up a Gyrocopter, and this is going to be their safe lane carry for this game. And the thing with Gyrocopter as well is, similar to an Ember Spirit, but probably a little bit more, is that he can fight relatively early because of the cooldown and the Rocket Barrage. So Gyrocopter being one of the safe lane options, being able to participate in the team fights if Kappa does need the Gyrocopter to fight early. So for the moment, I'm quite enjoying Kappa's draft. It's looking very solid. They've got a decent safe lane carry. They have a Queen of Pain that should be able to hold down the fort for that early game. And then they have an awesome supporting duo. Dazzle, one of the more defensive supports, who essentially could turn the tides of battle just by throwing a grave under somebody and having, for example, the Gyrocopter, who was going to get bursted down, turn and throw his entire kit before he dies. Also the Tusk. Let's not forget Tusk. This hero is not only super fun to watch, but he is incredibly annoying, and especially with the potential snowball saves, that's probably something that Kappa is going to be looking to, because Ozone, they have a lot of damage going in the way of Kappa. They'll snag an Ancient Apparition pick here, and AA going to be providing a little bit of global presence here to Ozone. So if they do want to go for something to improve their ganking potential, then an AA is definitely the way to go. I think another thing to note as well is AA is definitely awesome at shutting down some of those heroes that rely on a lot of HP regeneration. So heroes like Huskar and Morphling really don't want to play up against an AA, just because it really severely limits the capacity at which these heroes can play at. Kappa going to go for the final ban here in a Slaughter, so we're not going to be seeing a Slaughter this game, unfortunately. synergy would have been there for Ozone to some degree. It wouldn't be amazing, but the pickup potential for Ozone would have been huge because Slardar and Darkseer, you have the Ion Shell, Sprint, Crush. So Slardar has a mode of transport to get towards its target, and then obviously he just finishes that up with the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast as well. So seems like Kappa doesn't really want to deal with the Slardar. Whereas for Ozone, what's their priority ban here? They've already got 2 supports on the side of Kappa, a mid and a safe lane. So it looks like it's an off lane that Kappa is still in need of, possibly a Clockwork ban. Unless the Tusk is going to be running in that off lane role. This is the advantage of running a Tusk. You never know if it's going to be that position 3 or position 4 Tusk. Tusk will be pretty, the Clockwork will be good because it means Queen of Pain and Gyrocopter is going to be able to throw their entire kit into the cogs. And so for Ozone, Ember Spirit wouldn't be in too bad of a position just because he's got the Remnants. And instead it's going to be a Naga ban here. So Ozone being a little bit more afraid of the Naga Siren than anything else. So that was very interesting there. So the last pick here for Kappa. They still need an off lane, whereas for Ozone, they need a safe lane here. Unless they want to put the Ember Spirit in the safe lane, then they're going to be open to a mid. But in terms of what Ozone could possibly pick up in the save lane, it needs to be something that will... No, I guess it's going to be a carry that... It can't be too hard of a carry because Ember Spirit, if he gets shut down, the hard carry is not what Ember Spirit wants to look for when it comes to relying on somebody. You'd probably want to have a hero that is going to be able to also participate in the team fights relatively early. So if Ember Spirit struggles, then at least he has a partner to lean on. Spirit Breaker going to be the final pick for Kappa here. And Ozone pulling out the Meepo card. Okay, was not expecting the Meepo pick. But I know a lot of teams ban Meepos, so I think it was bound to happen. This is probably going to be my first Meepo as well in this tournament. And I hope it's not my last either, because I love to see this hero. But Kappa with the Spirit Breaker pick, it just means that they're going to be super, super aggressive. They'll have the Spirit Breaker charge to provide the vision. Then you have the Tusk with the follow-up, or the Queen of Pain, or the Gyro. So for Kappa, they're not too light on damage. They've got decent catch, they've got decent control, and they've got some really good nuking power on their side till the Gyrocopter gets big. Whereas for Ozone, they're running a Meepo, and depending on how the Meepo decides to build up his items this game, if it's going to be like a quick Boots of Travels Meepo, then I can definitely see Different Heaven participating in the fights. He will have to be careful about the Queen of Pain and Gyrocopter because all that AoE can drop the Meepos quite low. And obviously Meepo wants to get as much farm as possible, so we'll have to see how this does work out for either side. But for the moment, we're going to have a quick pause as both teams just going to kind of do their own thing before anything else happens. But guys, this is our first Best of 2 series today for the Global Esports Cup. This is Group Stage 2 of the Southeast Asian Games. So Kappa123 versus Ozone. If you have just joined us, again, I'll say it again, it's a best of 2. So how the system works is that whoever accumulates 2 points will manage to secure themselves 3 points in the brackets, whereas if it's going to be a 1-to-1 for either side, then it ends up just being 1 point for either team. So obviously you want to grab those 2 points for your team, sorry, the extra 3 points instead of the 1. I'll see if I can try and find the bracket information for you, just so we can see the standings of the teams so far. I think I have it here. Okay, so looking at the standings, so Ozone, they have lost 2 games so far, whereas for Kappa123, they've won 2 games. So Kappa looking to be in a pretty good position, whereas for Ozone, they haven't really had the best start yet. So they're probably looking into getting at least 1 win in this series up against Kappa, just so that they can get their names on the boards. Because if you don't win anything, then obviously you're going to be in a pretty bad spot. Some teams haven't played yet, so they're not in the same situation as Ozone here. So we'll introduce the teams as well, since we are kind of waiting. I'm not too sure if someone's taking a toilet break or what. But on the side of Ozone, playing our last pick, Meepo, surprisingly enough, it's going to be Different Heaven. We got Dewey Depp, well, let's just call him Dewey, playing on this Darkseer, Trash on the Earthshaker, Tengu on the Ember Spirit, and finally we've got Magical... Oh no, okay, we've got some funny names. Magical Chime, my fanboy, on the Ancient Apparition. On the side of Kappa123, we have D. Okay, I'm not sure if these guys are tagged up properly. I don't think so, but if it is, then I'd be very surprised at some of these names. D Thanks 2710 on the Dazzle. Let's just call him D. I think we'll call him D, thanks. We'll just call him Dazzle, we'll figure it out. M on the Spirit Breaker, Ace Wallerstein playing on the Tusk, Plunlo on our Gyrocopter, and finally Vitamin Light, that's going to be handling the Queen of Pain. And it seems like we are going to be able to jump into this game relatively soon. So both teams agreeing, and here we go, countdown timer, we are finally in this game. So first game of the day for both teams. Let's see who's going to pull out the first win. So we're going to have a quick TP in towards the bottom lane here for our Darkseer, just so we can secure these Observer Wards. And Dazzle, he's already here to foil his plans, so we'll see if he does manage to spot it out, or instead they're going to kind of pass each other. So they do manage to spot the Darkseer, but the Dazzle managed to get a lane ward in. Dewey instead going to go for an Observer Ward on the high ground here. So very interesting for him to decide to put a ward there. So it looks like they're going to at least have a little bit of vision when it comes to going in towards that river. It won't help him in the lane per se, just because he won't be able to see anything within the fog. And we'll see if there is going to be a D ward coming out from Kappa123. I presume they do have sentry wards? They've got, yes, they do have sentry wards. So it's going to be on the Tusk. And it looks like this Tusk is going to be on the position 4 role. So Spirit Breaker going to be the one to be running mostly the farm in that off lane. And unfortunately, Darkseer's Observer Ward already gone, so for all those efforts for nothing, unfortunately for Darkseer. He will be running in blind, although he is in the Roche Pit. So if Kappa123 decides to run into the Roche Pit, they might find themselves a tasty little Darkseer, who's only gone for Ion Shell as well. So if he gets caught out, he is definitely going to die. No points in the Tusk yet, so he's pretty open with what he can go for, whether it be that Ion Shell, not Ion Shell, the Snowball, or the Ice Shards. So for the moment, Dewey just going to sit in the Roche Pit, still ironing himself up, whereas up top it's going to be a different Heaven rune, whereas for Vitamin Light, he's got no points yet, so he is able to get a blink off if he wants to, whereas our poor Darkseer, well, he does look tasty to Gyrocopter and Tusk, but with Ice Shards, they're not going to really be able to get over the fissure, so no one dies, and it's a 1-to-1 for rune trade, so Meepo and the Queen of Pain getting their respective runes. So it's going to be a mid Meepo instead. So Ember Spirit going to be running in the safe lane. Now, I'm interested to see how this Meepo does up against the Queen of Pain. Typically, Queen of Pains are the stronger, or seen as the stronger mid lane. But depending on the player, if they are able to really capitalize on the advantages of playing Meepo, then it should be an okay lane for Meepo. He could essentially burst the Queen of Pain if she does not respect the hero. Down towards the bottom lane, we have our Darkseer, unfortunately going to get caught out by the Tusk with the shards. First blood going in the way of the Dazzle, surprisingly enough. So, awesome start already to Kappa123 being able to get rid of that Darkseer. And unfortunately for Darkseer, he was in a bit of an interesting position. He was very far forward, he had no vision anywhere. So, quite difficult for him to get out of this. Whereas our poor Spirit Breaker being chased out by not just fire, but also ice from the Ancient Apparition and the Ember Spirit. Different Heaven though. Going to be struggling in this mid lane until he hits that level 3. Then at least we'll have that secondary Meepo and he will be able to run back and forth between the fountain. So we still have Trash hanging around in this mid lane so far, just trying to look for something. But unfortunately no opportunities to kill the Queen of Pain. Gonna blink forward though, he wants to get the kill onto Different Heaven, our Meepo. He has no salve, he's got Tangos. He should not die here, he's got the Tango still regenerating through. But Vitamin Light, if he really wants to, he could try to commit to the Meepo, but it'll be very risky. He could lose his life in the process, and if he doesn't get the kill, then it'll be a big loss. And Different Heaven hits level 3, and all of a sudden the Meepo is going to go back to Fountain. Trash going to be coming into the mid lane. We've got the Darkseer running away from a Tusk. Running into the Roche Pit, interestingly enough. I don't know if you want to get stuck in there, my friend. And, well, there we go. The kill actually happened. Meepo getting a catch there on the Queen of Pain. So all of a sudden, Queen of Pain not in a very good situation, getting killed off by not just the Meepo, but also the Earthshaker who was there. And unfortunately, Darkseer in the meantime, it looks like it's going to be taken down by the Dazzle and the Tusk. So unfortunately for the Darkseer, just hasn't really been able to do too much in this bottom lane. This supporting duo on the side of Kappa123 has been very, very aggressive. And it's paying off as well. Up in the top lane, Spirit Breaker hasn't died as much, but it's because he's been in a dual lane scenario, so only really having to worry about an Ancient Apparition. He is still a bit of a nuisance, but AA much squishier, and there is a chance that the Spirit Breaker could potentially get a solo kill onto the AA. And a Tusk might run into... Nope, not going to run into into the Earthshaker. He will sit in the mid lane for a little bit though, in Different Heaven. He's got the 2 Meepos, but that's not going to save him from the burst per se. And unfortunately, our Earthshaker going to be spotted. There is a charge as well to ensure they have 100% vision on the Earthshaker. So this should be an easy kill. Unless Different Heaven's able to get the end snare off. Nope, both bashes, and all of a sudden, the snowball actually going to connect to Different Heaven as well. The Meepo's in trouble. He will pop the end snare onto the Spirit Breaker, so he's not really able to follow up. But the Earthshaker getting caught out of position, unfortunately. They put an Observer Ward down, just so that they have that extra vision behind the tower to see if there is going to be any reinforcements coming down. So the Darkseid, who's died twice, he's not too bad. He's only got 6 CS. I think Dewey, unfortunately, if this bottom lane is not going to be working out for him, I would like him to rotate into the jungle, just so then he can actually get that mechanism at a relatively quick timing. And I think at this point, it looks like he will be going into the jungle now. Has he finished up the Soul Ring, or is he just going to go for an Ancient stack? Looks like it's going to be an Ancient stack, so creep wave a little bit too far forward. He knows this, so instead he's going to go for that Ancient stack to help out not just the Meepo, but also the Ember Spirit. Both of these heroes are able to capitalize on an Ancient stack, and Vitamin Light going to be caught out here by the Meepo. Again, is there enough Disable to keep her in place? He's actually got no mana for a blink. He just has it with the bottle charge. So Vitamin Light managing to get out at a tiny bit of HP, about 100 remaining. And AA going to spot a Spirit Breaker very shortly. Gets bashed 117%. Coldfeet going to be thrown out onto the Spirit Breaker. He's going to have to back out before it gets frozen. So Wallstein. There is a Darkseer in the tree line. He can't kill the Tusk, but at least he can try and harass them out a little bit. But in the mid lane, looks like they want to try and jump onto Vitamin Light again. Darkseer going to be coming in. There's the Fissure to start things off. The end snare from our Meepo, and that's going to be the end of Vitamin Light, our Queen of Pain. Down up towards the top lane, though. Spirit Breaker tried to go for a kill, I believe, on the Ancient Apparition, but got caught out by the Ember Spirit in the process as well. So 2 kills going in the way of Ozone. Looking very solid for them. Their early game is looking very good. And for Kappa123, when you're running a Queen of Pain, you want to have as much of an advantage as possible in the snowball. They want to jump onto Different Heaven. Again, the much weaker Meepo, but does he have mana? He does a little bit of mana. Fissure's going to be there from the Earthshaker, who was nearby, and Wallstein looks like he will manage to get out charged, though, onto the lower HP Meepo. Vitamin Light looks like he wants to go for a commitment, taking a lot of damage, but the Spirit Breaker charge not going to connect. The cancel last minute to Different Heaven. The other lower HP Meepo will go down in the process, and unfortunately the Darkseer just wandering through the mid lane and gets caught out by an extra 2 heroes that did manage to walk through that mid lane. So for Ozone, they lose 2 heroes and they gain nothing in the process, unfortunately. So good jump coming out from Kappa, making sure that they're shutting down the Meepo as soon as possible. The thing with Meepo is, even though teams don't generally play with this hero very often, they still respect the fact that Meepo is able to flash farm so incredibly quickly. He can just poof through the jungle. He's always going to have a Meepo, especially when he hits 3 Meepos, and he's always going to have at least 1 in the fountain. And Vitamin Light taking a little bit of damage and poof damage. He will drop low, but there are going to be runes unless he wants to try and go for a bottle charge. Oh, I think he gave it to the... No? Okay, did not give it to his allies that TP'd in. That would have been nice if he just got the fountain trickle from the teammates that TP'd in. May have been too late. I thought I heard them swap something. But aside from that, Ember Spirit doing incredibly well in the top lane. Tengu sitting on 42 CS so far, so this guy has had absolute free farm plus assist gold going his way. So this is the ideal situation that you want to have as a Ember Spirit. And at least for Ozone, the Ember Spirit's going to have a wonderful time getting not just an early Battle Fury, unless he wants to go for the Boot to Travels build, which means he'll have global presence. He is hanging on to a lot of gold, and I presume it is going to be the Boot to Travels. He's holding on to roughly 2k gold. Smoke rotation by the 2 supports on the side of Kappa123. They won't spot anyone out, but I think they might run into a poor Ancient Apparition who might just walk in. I think he's just spotted the Tusk in the process. So he spots the Tusk. Ice Shard's going to be thrown out. It will block his exit point though, and the charge going to be there for the Spirit Breaker. But looks like they're going to be hesitating on this. Spirit Breaker still coming in though, but there is going to be support with Different Heaven. Going to be bashed up by the Spirit Breaker through the charge again. They want to try and go for a commitment here, but there goes the buff from the AA. Is that going to be enough for Different Heaven to kill off anything? Almost getting the dazzle, but he pops the grave just in time. The lower HP Meepo trying to run away. AA is still alive, surprisingly enough. Running away, gets charged in the meantime. Different Heaven poofing back to his other Meepo. The Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain, the backside, getting the kill into the Meepo, and Trash will tick out to the earn charge. And Ember Spirit going to come in for a quick stab. He gets a kill onto the Tusk. Can he get anything else though? Once the Queen of Pain Vitamin Light's blink is coming off cooldown, but it's not going to be soon enough. And our Spirit Breaker has to go for a charge, but still not quite enough to save his life there. So good trades going in the way of Ozone. They lose quite a few heroes on their own, but they managed to get even more in the trade, and a lot of the kills, or some of the kills at least, went in the way of that Ember Spirit. He got 2 assists in the process of that kill, in the process of the gank, plus getting a kill onto himself. So for tanking on the Ember Spirit, this guy is having a hell of a time. He's got his boots of travels, he's got a Wraith Band as well. Will be charged by the Spirit Breaker, but this is just a mode that he is able to get back into lane quicker. But net worth wise, we'll take a look at this right now. So we've got Ember Spirit and Meepo leading the net worth charts so far, and this is good news for Ozone. It means at least their heroes are getting farm, and they're getting EXP, and their items are going to be coming at a decent timing so that they're ready and prepared for when Kappa tries to go for this five-man push down one lane sort of strategy. And it looks like they want to try and kill Ponlo here. There's only Earthshaker and an AA. If they have anyone else there, I think they would have been able to grab a kill on the gyro. They will just cross by with the tusk and no one's going to do anything. They'll just kind of, they won't even bat an eye at each other. They just walk by. Did not even hesitate. So Ponlo just doing a really good job here harassing at the Earthshaker trash. Yeah, a little bit sad. He has arcane boots though, so at least he's going to be able to spam out those fissures when the team fights do ensure. And just having a constant fissure, considering that Earthshaker does have a lot of mana issues, definitely helps if you're able to just be there to always have a disable with whether it's going to be the enchant totem or if it's going to be that fissure. I'm surprised Kappa's done nothing to deal with the Ember Spirit. They will go for a charge with the Spirit Breaker, but Spirit Breaker by himself cannot really do anything to kill off a Ember Spirit. So I'm not too sure what the Spirit Breaker was expecting to get with that Ember Spirit. Maybe expecting a TP to come in to try and grab a kill. I guess an issue with Kappa123 is they just don't have the disables to keep an Ember Spirit in place. They've got a lot of chase, but they don't have much to keep them in place. The Tusk would be very good up against heroes with no mobility, but for Ember Spirit, he's got no issues with dealing with a Tusk. So Dewey, our Darkseer, looking very close towards that mechanism, so good news for him actually. So this is going to be the sustain for Ozone coming up relatively soon, and it means that they're going to be able to fight comfortably with the added bonus of that regen. And even though Kappa123 is running a Dazzle, they don't have any massive burst regen. So for them going up against a mechanism, it will be a bit of an issue, but it won't be the end of the world. But the problem for Kappa123 is they don't have the best heroes for picking up a mech. I think the best hero if you wanted to really go for a mech would be the Dazzle, but considering it's a position 5 Dazzle, this guy is not going to get the farm for one. We will have a smoke rotation there coming out from Kappa123. They're looking for somebody, and they're going to find the Meepos. Now, is he going to be able to get out of here? They snowball onto one. They're chasing after the other, but unfortunately, the Meepo dropping way too quickly in the charge. Going to be chased onto Dewey. Now, the Darkseer's pretty far out, so it looks like they're not going to try and commit onto him. Would have been a bit of a risk diving a T2 for him, but Kappa123, they're showing their aggression and they're starting to slow down the farm on this Meepo. They need to deal with the Ember Spirit at some point unless they're comfortable in saying, okay, we're going to shut down the Meepo and we're going to slowly take the map, and from that point on you should not feel comfortable. Darkseer just searching the wrong creep. Okay, well, life is hard, but life should not be that hard, do we? Oh my goodness. Top lane, it's being pushed out by the Ember Spirit and the AA, but those two just don't push fast enough. Mid lane does get taken down by Kappa123, and down bottom, they've got different Heaven down here trying to push as quickly as he can. Here come the TPs. Tusk will be the first one to go through. The Fissure does not fully block the exit point, so they will try and commit for this. Snowball going to be connecting onto the Meepo? No, it won't, so the other one just poofs out. So good stuff for Ozone not getting caught out there with their Meepo. They'd force a lot of TPs as well, so it means that top lane is going to be relatively safe. Spirit Breaker, the only one to have a TP, is going to be the only one up here. Pops a negative earn charge onto the Ember Spirit. Not too sure if that's going to do that much against the Flame Guard, but hey, whatever suits you. So Ozone, they're still chipping away at these towers. Unfortunately for them, they don't have the best tower push until they get more Meepos, I suppose. Ember Spirit's not that great at tower pushing by himself until he builds up damage. Meepo, considering he's always going to have those multiple Meepos, is probably the best hero when it comes to trying to go for that sort of push. Darkseer, let's not talk about Darkseer. This guy kicks like a noodle, so you don't really want to be looking into him for when it comes to tower push. He's good at backdooring creep waves, but that's going to be roughly about it. So we're looking at 12 minutes into the game. Let's look at graphs and item progressions for both sides. Lots of EXP going in the way of Ozone. So even though they're behind in terms of kills, they're ahead because they have a lot of heroes, in particular the Meepo and the Ember Spirit, farming without any sort of contest. Net worth, looking like it's a bit of a different, it's a same story here. The tower did get taken down for Kappa123, but it's not quite enough for his down bottom. Looks like they want to try and jump onto Vitamin Light, the Queen of Pain, and unfortunately you can't blink out when you get ensnared, so Meepo going to be happy with the kill. The charge is going to be cancelled in the meantime, and unfortunately for them, they're going to be hit by an Ice Blast as well, so it forces Heroes home. And Kappa123, I'm not too sure if this draft of theirs is really going to be able to carry through a farmed Ember Spirit and a Meepo. They have a lot of early game aggression, which is possible right now. But the time's going to come when this Queen of Pain is not going to be enough on her own, and the Gyrocopter is going to have to participate soon. He's going to be building in towards a standard Sand and Yasha, which he needs, and it looks like they're going to try and go for their own sort of aggression. They've caught up the Ember Spirit. He actually gets a really clutch play onto the Spirit Breakout, keeping him in place for a little bit longer. Does manage to get out with the Remnant, and Trash is going to be there with the Fissure. Will he commit? They're going to TP home and then go back to the Remnant, but everyone on the side of Kappa, they're going to retreat, or somewhat close to a retreat. They're still in the top lane. But I think at this point, they're just going to give up that top jump. So for items, let's take a look and see what we're going to be seeing very shortly. So Ember Spirit making a beeline towards that Battle Fury. And if he gets the Perseverance in about 2 to 3 minutes, it'll be really good for him. Because then at least he's going to have the added bonus of that cleave when these team fights happen. Different Heaven, rushing Aghanim Scepter, very standard on Meepos. And he just needs one more component. It's actually done. If the courier goes to the secret shop right now, he will get charged out by a Spirit Breaker, but there's only a Queen of Pain to follow up, so Different Heaven gets hit. Gonna proof in all of the Meepos, and Tusk is gonna be the only one to come in, and unfortunately the Snowball not gonna be enough. IA Blast will connect onto one, gets onto both, and the proofs is gonna be there, and even Tengu came into the team fight as well with the Boot of Travels. So Ozone, respecting the aggression that Kappa is willing to throw out, so they respond with their own TPs and try to help out as much as possible. And I think this is going to be an issue for Kappa123 because they're supposed to be relying on these quick and easy pickoffs, but without the necessary heroes, there's just too much time for Ozone to reinforce with not just an Ember but also a Meepo. So for Kappa, they need to burst down these heroes, and unfortunately for Vitamin Light on the Queen of Pain, he's got a Staff of Wizardry, and I can't help but feel like he's just having to go back and possibly pick up a Yule Scepter, it seems, because the ensnares from the Meepos has been a huge problem for the Queen of Pain. Looks like there is going to be a charge onto the Ancient Apparition. He will run by an illusion. Are they going to commit though? Gyro's going to be coming in. I think Cooldown's going to be thrown just to make sure they get this kill, but Meepo's going to be there with the ensnare. Cooldown thrown out. AA gets hit by the Nether Strike. They should get the kill on the AA, but is this going to be completely worth it? 1 goes down, 2 goes down. Snowball's going to be there. They're going to lose 3 in the process. Oh no, huge disaster hit for Kappa123 as everyone on the side of Ozone is here and going to be slowly annihilating. They miss a lot of the nets, but he's too slow. No way for them to catch up, and Dazzle's out of there, and Queen of Pain, our Vitamin Light. Yeah, Vitamin Light's just out. Not even going to commit, so over-commitment for Kappa123, and it's in an attempt to get just an Ancient Apparition. If the AA was completely alone and they got that kill, then it would have been nice. But we also have to look at the bigger picture when you get those kills. You're killing an Ancient Apparition. It's a simple support. You're not dealing with any of the cores on the side of Ozone, and even if you get the kill onto the support, what are you going to achieve? It's not like you're going to be able to transition it into a T1 tower, because these cores on the side of Ozone are looking incredibly strong, and for Kappa123, their time to shine is supposed to be around now. It's supposed to be them charging around the map, blinking around the map, snowballing around the map, asserting their dominance onto Ozone, but these guys are so tanky. There's a Mechanism and Arcade Boots on the Darkseer. You've got AA who's already got a component for the Aghanim Scepter, Tengu who's got Boots of Travels and a Battle Fury. You have an Earthshaker that's got a Blink Dagger in, like, essentially right now. And you got the Meepo who's getting incredibly fat. Where's the real Meepo? Here's the real Meepo. He's got Ags. He's got a Ring of Aquila. He's got Boots of Travels. 16 minutes into the game, so the farm on the side of Ozone is incredible, whereas for Kappa, the highest here is a Gyrocopter who only has Treads, Helm the Dominator, and a Yasha. So for Ponlo, he's not really a threat yet. Like, for level-wise, he's going to be a threat because of the cooldown and the Rocket Barrage, but that's about it. Once he's unloaded his kit, what else is there? He just doesn't have any sort of defensive mechanisms to really keep him alive, because the sad reality is that you're up against a Meepo who has the Geostrike. And Geostrike gives you a small damage over time. The duration is 2 seconds here. And you can see the damage scaling. So even though there's going to be a grave, if you get hit a couple of times by the Meepo, or at least by maybe a whole set of Meepos, then there's going to be too much Geo's direct damage and you will tick out anyway after the grave. So I don't know what Kappa's supposed to do, if they're supposed to go for these smoke rotations, bring in their whole draft just to kill one hero. I think the best thing for them is honestly to do that. Just bring the whole team, go for a smoke, and find a kill. And from that point on, just keep trying to find those small kills. Don't confront Ozone as an entire team. Just always go for those small remote pickoffs. I think the best hero to find right now would be Different Heaven. But for Kappa123 to kill him, you need the whole team. And they're all spread out throughout the map. So it's just not easy for Kappa to just pick a target. Because you're always afraid that there is going to be someone, or at least someone with reinforcement ability to really be there for the person that gets chased down. And the Queen of Pain, 16 minutes into the game, still hanging on to a Staff of Wizardry. This really does look like it's going to be a Yule Scepter, unless it's supposed to be something quirky like a Force Staff. Honestly, I've never seen a Force Staff on a Queen of Pain. Yule Scepter does seem to be the more viable option here, because she needs a way of getting out of the end snare. But I think the issue is that even though you pop the Yules, if the Meepo times the end snare well enough, the Queen of Pain just gets re-ensnared. So what's the big deal? So for Vitamin Light, Yules is going to be nice, but it's not the saving grace for the Queen of Pain, unfortunately. It's just so hard for Queen to really deal with the Meepo this game, because if she just gets caught, that's it. You can't blink out, you're done for. And the Meepo is so tanky that even if she throws a Sonic Wave, that's not going to be enough to kill him. Like, look at this guy. This is the main Meepo, sitting on almost 1.4k HP. This other standard Meepo is sitting at 1.2k. So they're still stupidly tanky. So Queen of Pain by herself isn't quite enough. To burst down the Meepos. And unfortunately for them, Meepo is just snowballing to the point of no return. And it's not just Meepo, it's also Tengu. So unfortunately for them, the net worth is just looking really, really horrible here for Ozone. So they will try and take the Ancients with their Gyrocopter to get a little bit more farm onto him, but I don't know if Pomno is going to be enough right now. Gyrocopter is one of the safest carries in the game. But if your mid lane is struggling to really get control, I don't know if the Gyrocopter is going to be enough by himself to really be there to dish out the damage. Because if Pomno gets caught out once, if he gets caught out once by the Emperor Spirit, or the Earthshaker, or the Dark, just anyone on the side of Ozone, if they catch him, there's so much burst on the side of Ozone that they just essentially kill them off. So it looks like Ozone's going to be one to assert dominance here. They've got 3 heroes smoked up. They're also going to have the Meepos down towards the bottom lane. And it looks like they want to try and find someone in the enemy jungle. Now, unfortunately for them, no one's there because they're all in the mid lane, going to go for their own smoke here. So Kappa123 going to try and find their own target. Will they find anyone though? Invis rune, really nice rune actually, that anyone could pick up and be there to find that first hero. Meepo as well as Ember Spirit are in the top lane. Everyone on the side of Ozone though, they're towards the bottom lane. They're going to try and go for a T2 push, whereas everyone on the side of Kappa, they need to get a kill. Can they get it onto Tengu? Where's the disable? They're going to manage to catch him out with the Walrus Punch as well. They do burst him down in time. So much needed kill for Kappa123, but it's a simple kill. Can they turn it into a T1 tower though? Because their T2 is being taken down by Different Heaven and Dewey. And it looks like they're going to try and retreat at this point. Vitamin Light still invisible. AA does not know he's here, so he's going to try and wait and go for that quick snipe. Sonic Wave connects onto 2 as well as the cooldown. Different Heaven. This Meepo is surely dead. So all of a sudden, Ozone, they stuck around too long, but the Earthshaker's there with the Echo Slam, but they're just too tanky. He's not enough by himself, trying to be a hero, and instead gives his life away. Complete team wipe in favor of Kappa123. This is definitely a team wipe that they so desperately needed. 2.8k gold swing going in their way, and all of a sudden this translates into a T1 tower, which they were going to get in the top lane, but instead goes down towards the bottom lane, gets the team wipe, and then this T1 tower is going to be taken down. So I think for Kappa, they're just going to be super grateful that they got these kills. And Queen of Pain going for Dagon? Oh, right. So this is interesting. I guess it's going to be a good way into dealing enough damage for Kappa123, because they realize they don't have the damage output to kill these heroes unless the Queen of Pain does go for something quirky like this. Dazzle will kind of be spotted out here by the Ancient Apparition, but Kappa123, they're just going to slowly work on the tower. But there's too many Ozone heroes and they're looking a little bit weak. Even though Dazzle's going to be there with a couple of heals, he's running low on mana, so you're not going to reliably wait for the Dazzle to be there with the heal. So are they going to commit for this tower? It's pretty low. I think they're going to back off at this point. They're probably expecting Ozone to be there. So Haste Rune's going to be bottled up on the Queen of Pain. The advantage though still in favour of Ozone, it seems. But it will slowly dip. So we've got the EXP here. Still in favour of Ozone, but because of that massive team fight, 5k EXP swing. That's pretty big. So for Kappa123, going to be very happy with that. Net worth wise though, it's dropped in roughly the same manner. So about 5k, roughly a 5k gold swing in favour of Kappa123. If they can get a similar team fight to what they just had soon, or at least the next team fight to be roughly the same manner, then that'll be the most ideal situation for Kappa123 to come back into the game. Although unfortunately Tusk gets caught out by an Earthshaker. There is going to be a charge onto the Tusk though, but there are heroes nearby. Not just a Darkseer, but also a Meepo. I think he's cancelled the charge in the meantime anyway, so no chance for revenge for the moment. But I think Tusk will have his revenge eventually, so nice little gold change here in the favour of Ozone. So there is going to be a charge into the top lane, it seems. They want to try and commit onto Tengu, but there is going to be a creep wave, and Vitamin Light needs to go for a blink past the creep wave. Otherwise, they're going to know that something's up, but they do manage to get the kill. Look, sorry, they don't manage to latch onto the Ember Spirit. So Ember Spirit's going to be absolutely fine. Tengu not going to be caught out. Queen of Pain needed to get past the creep wave without being noticed, otherwise the Ember Spirit would have known that something was going to be wrong. Looks like towards the bottom lane, we're going to have some shenanigans happen soon. Trash and Darkseer. Trash and Dewey, gonna try and do some work. So the Ion Shell on this Earthshaker, they're gonna try and find somebody. If the Dazzle shows his face, and a similar situation for Tusk, if they show their face, they are gonna be in so much trouble. So Ice Blast does connect, but it looks like they're not gonna try and go for any sort of commitment. They get seen by the creep wave and they just blink out of there. So 22 minutes into the game so far, and Kappa123, they're looking a little bit better, but it hasn't haven't really fulfilled their draft, unfortunately. So they just needed to have another really good team fight. Roche is available. I guess that is one asset to keep in mind, but it's so much easier for Ozone to get the Roche, just because for them Roche is so much more accessible, and they also, because they're on the Dire side, it's going to be much easier to get vision over that Roche pit. So they already have one ward put up. Actually, that's a sentry ward, so they're going to get rid of the vision for Kappa123. So Ponlo finished up the Sanjin Yash and trying to go for a BKB. Meepo in the meantime getting a quick kill on the Queen of Pain. Did not see that happen, but I expect it was just a very quick kill. Not really much to say about that. So Queen of Pain unfortunately going down. This Dagon build on the Queen of Pain, I was expecting Queen to be a little bit more aggressive with this, but not quite so. Looks like the Queen of Pain doesn't really want to be aggressive by herself. She always wants to be there with her teammates. But because you've gone for this build, you're so vulnerable to getting picked off because she just doesn't have the HP pool. And poor Dazzle gets hit by a couple of cleaves and he loses quite a chunk of HP. But the snowball's going to be there, just going to throw onto the creep wave, and he blinks out. So Tusk with his blink, this is going to help the Tusk out because he will hopefully get a couple of those blink snowball saves. But I don't know if this is going to change the game in their favor. And Meepo, quick Aegis. No one can really do anything about it. They do spot Dewey though. They have the Spirit Breaker charging. It looks like it's cancelled it in the process. So Kappa123, they're playing very indecisively. They want to go for kills, but they've also just kind of fallen back towards this more passive style of Dota. And unfortunately for them, they just don't have that late game hero. It's not like they're running an anti-mage or a PL or a Spectre that's going to be their late game monster. They're running a Gyrocopter. There is going to be a charge though onto the Ancient Apparition, who by himself is looking like a pretty juicy target. In the meantime though, Meepo comes into the creep wave, catches out M. They get the kill, and they're going to get a secondary one onto Vitamin Light, the Queen of Pain, who can't blink out. Snowball's dead, does not save the Queen. All of a sudden Tusk gets caught out as well, and this Dazzle has to be so careful. Is there a blink available? Yes, there is. Blink poof onto the Dazzle. So for Kappa123, they just get annihilated. And the mid lane tower gets taken as well. It's just such a huge item advantage in the way of Ozone. They've got so many blinks and they've got so much mobility. It is almost disgusting. And I think the best thing is that the AA, he hasn't really been pressured too much, but he's provided so much for the team. Just getting those Ice Blasts to connect, also getting the Chilling Touch. Chilling Touch is amazing on Meepos, by the way, because each individual Meepo gets its own charge. So each hit is going to be super painful. And getting hit in the face by 5 Meepos with Chilling Touch is huge. So this mid lane is going to be taken down relatively easily here by Ozone. No contest for Kappa. Kappa really can't contest. There's just too much bursting potential on the side of Ozone. Up top, there is a juicy Meepo target, but do you really want to attempt to jump on a Meepo? I don't think so. Different Heaven, though, moving up into the top lane. He could have tried to jump onto Pond, though, I think, but looks like he's just going to go for that sort of safer style and not go for those tower dives. So what are the scores looking for all the heroes? He's got Meepo sitting on a whopping 9 kills, 4 deaths, 6 assists. And this Gyrocop's got a lot of assists, but I think for Pond, though, it's okay for him to have this sort of a score, but I think the best scenario for his team would be to have him participate in more team fights, because unfortunately for him, he's running out of map to farm safely. There's a Meepo on one side of the map, and you have the rest of the Ozone draft on the other side of the map, and even if you try and go into an empty lane, it's just way too scary to be there. So for Pondley, I'm wondering where he's going to get the rest of his farm. He could essentially get jumped on here. There is a charge onto Tengu, so he will have a Remnant available. Charges going to connect. He will not get the disable, but they will get a beautiful combo off on the side of Ozone, catching 2 heroes out. Kappa, not really expecting it. There was a heavy commitment for Ozone, but there's buybacks available on these heroes. So if they can at least force buybacks, and Meepo gets his own solo, almost gets a double kill. Oh, Queen of Pain, never mind. She gets hit by the Geo Strike and it ticks her out as well. And Meepo died with the Aegis. So he effectively got those kills for free. And he's also gotten a Dazzle in the process. So 2 buybacks on the only 2 cores that have them. Spirit Breaker as well as our Gyrocopter. There is a buyback on the Dazzle, but what can the Dazzle buyback really do? Prove on the Pond, they're going to get graved up, but is it really going to be enough to kill off the Dazzles? Sorry, not kill the Dazzles, kill off the Meepos. So he knows he's going to die anyway. He stands his ground. Massive win on the side of Ozone, killing Kappa in their own base. And there's the GG call as well. 27 minutes into the game. Very early GG call as well. So for Kappa, pretty devastating game 1 for them. Whereas for Ozone, God, that was such a beautiful game for them. They executed their draft perfectly. And from that point on, they just snowballed to the point of no return. So for Ozone, going to be happy with this first victory in the best of 2. Whereas for Kappa, I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to drop that first game. So congratulations to Ozone. We're going to be moving quickly into game 2 here, as it will be starting shortly. Guys, my name has been Danalee. I've been your caster. If you would like to find me on Twitter, my name is @DanaleeCast on Twitter. So twitter.com/DanaleeCast. If you don't know how to spell it, it is on the top right corner of your screen. If you can't read that, then take a look at the stream title on Azubu, as it will be there as well. So guys, thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you in game 2 very shortly. So stick around, and we'll be moving into game 2 in just a moment.